Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this year, we're going to look at a fun little cookbook based on the Secret Garden. Now, I'm going to cover that book later this year. I think I'm covering it either sometime in spring, where we're covering the Secret Garden. So this is the Secret Garden cookbook. So recipes, inspiring recipes from the magical world of Frances Hudgens Burnett's The Secret Garden by Amy Cotler. She's known for writing a lot of farm-to-table cookbooks, so this is very kind of, I wouldn't say healthy, there's a lot of baking stuff in here, but it's good food. So you have an introduction, and then I'll read through each recipe, as I do with all these things, because I'm crazy. But the first chapter is Yorkshire breakfast. So the perfect porridge with brown sugar, so that's going to be oatmeal. Coddled eggs, which is, I think, eggs baked in little ramekins. Savory muffins spiked with cheddar cheese. Sounds very good. Little sausage cakes. And then warm cocoa for chilly Yorkshire day or night. So, and then you have a manor lunch. So you have Yorkshire pudding. I will show you, which as an American, I have no idea what that was. So this is a Yorkshire pudding. It's like a little baked thing. Moving on here. You have roasted chicken with bread sauce, a Welsh rabbit, which is essentially cheese sauce, and milk and cheese sauce poured on bread. That's a Welsh rabbit. Potato snow, which is, the best way to describe it is, it's baked potatoes put through a ricer. So you turn, essentially, rather than mashing them, you turn them into like fluffy little potato snow. So you fluff them up like that. Toffee pudding with butterscotch sauce. Now, as an American, toffee pudding is, I can find what this is. Toffee pudding. Potato stew, Welsh rabbit. Toffee pudding is a cake. So it's like a date and a little cake here. Pictures. So that's what that is. In the US, pudding, we consider it a specific type of food. In places like England, pudding is dessert, essentially. So, and then you have a jam roly-poly, which is the last thing in this thing. And again, this is more like a little fruit roll. So, very, very cute. It's a jello roll. So then we have chapter 3, which is English tea. Proper English tea. And of course, you have a proper cup of English tea. You have to know how to make a proper cup of tea. Cucumber tea sandwiches, which I admit I'm not particularly fond of cucumber. I like pickles, I don't like cucumber. My husband's the opposite. So then we have a warm cranberry scones with orange glaze. Keep meaning to make scones. Fruit tea loaf. So this is a fruit, it's a bread. Lemon curd tattlies. What the heck is that? Let's see. Move on. There's a picture of the scones there. There's lots of pictures in this book, which is great for kids. So, and there's the fruit tea loaf. So I may just go through this. So these look like little tarts. So they look like lemon curd tarts. So that's what that is. I'm just gonna peep in. Brandy snap lace cookies. No, there is no actual brandy in here. It's dark corn syrup. So little lace cookies. These look very, very good. So tea stuff. From the garden, which is from the kitchen garden. So it talks about different things here in the Victorian information. You want a little bit more information than just a recipe. So from the garden. So you have spring peas with fresh mint, sweet glazed carrots, which actually sounds very, very good. Summer berry pudding. So this looks like a bread pudding. It's very, very good. Yes, it's raspberries and bread crusts. So, two fools, which looks like, let's see, you have a cranberry fool, which is frozen cranberries, sugar, salt, unsalted butter, and heavy cream. So, and you have an apricot fool, which is apricot jam and heavy cream. So it looks like you put sugar in the berries and the butter and you cook them together. And let's see, you whip the cream. So it's essentially it's raspberries and cream. So sounds very good. Raspberry vinegar, interesting thing to make. Fresh raspberries and white wine vinegar or distilled vinegars and sugar, and you make a wine vinegar. So very interesting. Raspberry jam, that looks very, very good. I don't know if this is a complex recipe. You are cooking things. Let's see. It doesn't say it needs pectin, so I don't know how you're cooking it over medium heat and boiling it. And this looks more like a preserve because it doesn't look like there's pectin, which is the stuff that makes jelly. The only thing I know of that has it naturally, at least in fruit wise, is cranberries, and you're not going to find cranberries in England. They're an American thing, or at least a North American continent thing. So, yeah, it's just kind of cooked sugar and raspberries. Moving on, golden poached pear mold. Well, that looks very, very cool. So, apple juice, honey, lemon juice, Bosic pears. Use gelatin, so it's gelatinized in cold water. So that looks very good. I'm assuming you have to do it in some sort of cake mold. Yeah, 8x8 cake pan or pie dish. Strawberries and cream, kind of self-explanatory. And now move on to chapter 5, which is Dickens' cottage food. So talks a little bit about the cottage garden where Dickon, who's our little Moore boy, and the brother of Martha, who's the housemaid. So talk about what he would find. So he has tatty broth, which is basically a potato soup. And then you have peas pudding. That's what that is. I've heard a rhyme, peas pudding. It's split peas. So this is more of a savory dish. So yeah. Bacon and ham, onion, carrot, vegetable oil, thyme leaves, and dried green split peas. So that's what peas porridge is. And you have Yorkshire or oat cakes, which look very good. Cottage leaf with a top knot. So cottage loaf with a top knot. So that's just, it's a bread. It's a basic bread. So then you have dough cakes with cinnamon and sugar, which is, so this cheats. This definitely cheats because it's saying pizza dough. Defrost at room temperature. So this is definitely not traditional, and it's a definite cheat. So you could probably make your own pizza dough. So yeah, this is a cheat. So it's pizza dough with flour for dusting, and then melted butter, sugar, and cinnamon. So essentially you're making almost like cinnamon rolls with pizza dough. So you could probably make, that would be interesting. Might be something I try eventually. I haven't tried this recipe yet. The best sticky ginger parkin. So this is a ginger cake. Probably not something I would like. I'm not a big ginger fan, which sucked when I was pregnant. Moving on. So A Taste of India. So if you're familiar with this story, Mary Lennox was born and raised in India until her parents died of cholera, and she was sent to Misselthwaite to be with her uncle, who was her the husband of her aunt, obviously, but her father and Ichabod Craven were, her father and Ichabod Craven's wife were siblings. So Lady Craven would have been her aunt had she been alive. All right, moving on. So this is the Taste of India. So this is a fruit lassi. It's a drink. It looks like more like, I think it's a mango, yogurt, cinnamon, ground cumin. So it's like a yogurt drink with honey. So, and you can do the same thing with peaches. I can't pronounce this. Suji with fresh fruit. So this is salmonella, water, milk, and brown sugar to taste. So this is more like a little fried dough with fruit. This is the one thing I tried, which is everything. Alrighty, this is a relatively new book. There's a piece of tape here because it tore when I was printing the recipe. This is mulligatawny soup. So this is it's curry. Now I think I added some stuff to this because it's English, they're bland. So I can't remember what the heck I added, but I made it a little bit more flavorful than this. All right, almost done here. Little bacon and cilantro cakes. I think I tried these. These were decent. So they're little they're egg cakes, or they're little curry pancakes, essentially. Fresh mango chutney, which actually looks very, very good. And I think we're almost done with this recipe, with this book. I can turn the page here. It will let me. So, and then you has Florence Nightingale's Kid Curry, which is, what exactly is this? I believe this is another curry dish. No, it's fish. It's a haddock dish. So it's a spiced haddock, and it shows, you have a whole picture of a bunch of Indian spices here, which look really cool. So moving on here, and then the last book is 7, which is garden picnics. So it talks about garden picnics. So you have the fire roasted potatoes and eggs. This is actually described in the book, where essentially you're wrapping hard-boiled eggs and potatoes. And actually you're wrapping eggs and potatoes in, let's see, foil, and then you're putting them like in the coals of a charcoal fire. So, cozy currant buns. Very good. I like currants. English crumpets, which is more of a, very similar to an English muffin. English crumpets. You have Cornish pasties, which are a hand pie here. And I think that's almost it. Jimmy chocolate balls. So this is, yeah, it's just kind of a chocolate wafer cookies. It's a little candied ball here. And that's it. So that's the last of this recipe. So it's a very, very cute book. Good for people who are fond of kind of basic English cooking and enjoy the Secret Garden Cookbook, wants to kind of do simple food, simple English food. There's a lot of desserts, a lot of breads in here. So this is a great, fun little cookbook. I enjoyed it. I'm probably going to try more of it. Of the cookbooks that I've covered, the Anne of Green Gables is still my favorite, which is the video I previously did. The next video is the Celtic cookbook, which is the longest, and the most adult cookbook I'm doing, and that will finish off the cookbooks when I'm doing this month of January. You happen to be watching these in order when I filmed them. Oddly enough, yes, these two are the very last books that I covered. In fact, I covered them months after I did the other ones, because the other ones I think I did months ago. It's October. So the other ones were done a while ago. So, but again, that's the end of this video. If you like what you see, please check out the rest of my channel. Cookbooks are normally not what I cover. I cover children's books. That's normally what I cover on this channel. I cover lots of fun children's books. I do some further, a little bit more adult stuff, but it's always educational, because we are planning on homeschooling our child. As of this video, she is still 2. So, and sleeping, which is when I film, because she's sleeping. And I can do this in peace. But I will be adding more homeschooling stuff, secular homeschooling stuff, as she gets older and we start utilizing it. Otherwise, mostly what you got here is a little of one of my opinions on some education stuff. I have some travel videos. I'm hoping to add more. as time goes on. But this is still, when I'm filming this is October 2021. When this video is going to originally air, it's going to be January of 2022. So we're still in that edges of lockdown, crossing our fingers for vaccines here. So when this is shooting, I will hopefully add more travel videos once we're able to travel more. So be sure to check out the rest of my channel. I do a lot of fun stuff. Like and subscribe. I have a lot more to come. Thank you.